Hi, my name is Greg Bowen. I am a lifetime resident and former planning director with Calvert County, but I'm speaking tonight as a citizen and member of Keep Calvert Country, a bipartisan group of Calvert County citizens who believe in an open government by the people and for the people. We love Calvert's rural character, and we want to protect Calvert's quality of life. We are not anti growth, but we want Calvert to grow no faster than its infrastructure. In other words, to grow responsibly. At this point, we're reviewing the consultant's plan, not the Planning Commission's plan. And I will say this, there's much that is well written in the plan. But we do have concerns, and some of our concerns relate to protecting rural landscapes. Since the preparation of the first comprehensive plan, protecting rural landscapes has been a top priority. And it was again this spring when it drew the highest attendance of all of the workshops. We do like the fact that the plan does focus its visions on protecting rural landscapes. First vision is our landscape is dominated by forests and fields. We also like the fact that it maintains the current priority preservation areas and priority funding areas maps. You see that the priority preservation areas are identified as more or less that green color on the attached map. And the amount of those areas is significant. We think that all of those areas do need to be preserved, and a mechanism should be in the plan to make that happen. Calvert County was the first county in the state to adopt a land preservation program, and it has been one of the most successful counties in the country in preserving land. Most of the land has been preserved through private dollars by transferring development rights from prime farmland to lands that were destined for development. However, issues have arisen. Beginning in 1992, and that was more than a dozen years after the land preservation program was adopted, there was a savings and loan debacle. And with that became all development more or less stopped in Calvert County and through the rest of the region. And as the development potential stopped, so did the market for development rights. And that left farmers hanging, farmers who had sold some of their development rights, but not all. So they were relying on the monies from transferable development rights in order to continue to operate and convert their farms, some cases to other farming practices from tobacco, but they did not have the resources to make that happen. So the county commissioners in 1992 set up a program to buy and retire development rights to protect farmers who had made that commitment to protect their land. That worked very successfully from 1992 on up until the Great Recession that began at the end of 2007 to 2008. Up until that time, Calvert had the best actually the second best transferable development rights program in the country, protecting 21,000 out of the 30,000 acres of land that has now been preserved. After the Great Recession, the moratorium from the failure to adopt tier maps kicked in, so that the transferable development rights program became almost non-existent. And the county stopped purchasing development rights through the purchase and retirement program. For 3 years, they didn't purchase any development rights. So, let's see what the plan talks about in terms of protecting rural character. We don't think it does a very good job. First of all, the plan recommends that TDRs no longer be allowed in the white areas on the map, the rural community districts, and that is the place where most development rights have been applied in the past, where development was already occurring. Secondly, the plan reduces the amount of transferable development rights needed in town centers, saying that no development rights are needed for the first 3 dwellings per acre. And then it goes on to say that no development rights are required in a residential district for the first unit per acre. This is much different than what is in the current regulations. So instead of actually providing enhancements for our land preservation programs, it works to kill the transferable development rights program. So where are development rights to go? There's an estimate there's as many as 12,000 development rights that are sitting out there that are available for the right price, and the market for the transfer development rights seems to be going away. We have lots of questions as to what's going on here. We're hoping that we're wrong, or that there'll be clarifications in the regulations in the proposed plan, and also further enhancements so that land preservation can proceed the way it has in the past. Meanwhile, we ask that the plan be changed so it does not restrict the use of transferable development rights in the rural community district unless the county agrees to buy them all or most of them. Secondly, do not put in the plan the policy that the first 3 dwellings per acre in town centers will not require development rights, or the same thing with residential districts. Don't put the standards in them. Allow those issues to be addressed in the zoning ordinance, because otherwise any kinds of changes to the ordinances will have to reflect what's in the plan, and the current policies that are proposed would devastate the land preservation program. There's a lot going on with this plan. There's a lot of things that we should really take the time to slow down and do it right, so that the programs are not harmed. And some of that requires negotiation. Right now, our farming community really hasn't had the chance to weigh in, and that will take some time to do it right. This thing can be fixed. We can retain our quality of life. We don't want to be Waldorf. And you don't want us to be Waldorf. If this plan is not of the people and by the people, then who is it for?